Hey, this is Mike with Inbound Service Leads. Now, we get asked a lot, what exactly is Inbound Service Leads? How does it work and who is it for? How do I know if it's going to work for my business? So in an effort to answer that question or those sets of questions directly, I've created a short presentation where I'll walk you through exactly what we do, how it stacks up against all the other options out there, and basically will help you determine if it's going to be a good fit to work with us or not, okay? So let's just go ahead and jump right in. Now, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we've been creating many of the top 3 home service businesses across the US and how we've been doing it since 2012. And what we do is we provide consistent, predictable inbound quote requests from serious pre-qualified buyers in your local market. All right. Now let's just go ahead and explain quickly who this is for. Now, basically we work with what I would consider established businesses, which means you're doing basically like a minimum of 250K a year and you're looking to really grow rapidly. You're looking to 2 to 3x your business within the next 12 months. Now, we do service a lot of different categories, but our primary 7 are for roofing, tree service, paving, hardscaping, windows, doors and siding, HVAC, and concrete. So if you own a business in any of those categories and you're looking to grow rapidly, then we can help, okay? So let's just jump right into what most businesses typically do, and it's right here. Basically, there's 6 primary ways that you can drive business through the internet, okay? If you're doing all the local stuff, you're putting up the flyers, you're maybe going door to door, you're doing referrals, all that stuff locally, there's a cap on what you can do there. And now you're looking to scale, so you're looking to the internet, right? Where people are actually going and looking to hire a contractor like you. There's a few different ways you can go about that, okay? Now, one is you can buy leads. You can work on your website. You can do SEO, which is search engine optimization. That's tied directly to your website. You can do social media, basically ads of all sorts. This encompasses like Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of those things, right? You can work on your Google business pages, your Google My Business page, and then there's Google ads in similar pay-per-click ad platforms. There's, Bing and similar platforms, but primarily Google ads is the biggest of those. So these are the primary 6 ways that our clients are growing their business. Now, a few things. A lot of times we get the question like, which one should I do and why and how? And the reality is there's not like a one size fits all, okay? And that's why we do basically tailored packages for each person we work with, because it's really, really important. Every business is at a different place and all of these different things have their time and place. But if you do them in the wrong order or at the wrong time for your business, you can actually lose a lot of money, and they very well will likely not work at all, okay? Timing in how you deploy these things and when you do them is very, very important. So in this video, I'm actually gonna go through these one at a time, and I'm gonna tell you exactly who should be doing which service and when, and that will eliminate a lot of the confusion. And it's also just really important to note, it's backed by a lot of data, right? We've been doing this for well over a decade with businesses exactly like yours. So this isn't based on, theory or anything like that. This is based on data that we have seen and we have compiled and that we have taken action based on, okay? We have basically adjusted all of our campaigns for our clients to make sure that we're doing things in the right order. And once we started figuring out that timeline of what, at what stage in a business should you deploy each of these marketing strategies, our clients' results skyrocketed, okay? So instead of trying to be everything to everybody, we know exactly which service you should be doing when, and I'll explain why that is in this video, okay? So the next important thing is, there is definitely a right and wrong way to do each of these things, okay? It's very, very possible. We talk with new prospects all the time and they're like, well, I've tried that and it didn't work. Like, okay, well, let's dig in a little bit, see like who was doing it, how was it being done, what, parts of the tool were you using and how, show us some of your ad creatives, like all that stuff. And without exception, we can always point out the reasons why the thing didn't work, okay? It'd be like, if you're a paving company and you came in and I needed my driveway done and I was like, well, how do you pave the drive? And you're like, well, you get the foundation right and then you put the tire on and, that's what we do, right? It's really not that simple, right? And if I were to go out and try to do that, I wouldn't have all the right equipment. I certainly don't have the knowledge, expertise, and experience to do it right. And there's a really good chance that my driveway is going to not only look horrible initially, but it is not going to last and it is not going to work. And I'm going to be like, paving your driveway doesn't work. Well, that's not true. You just got to get the right team, that knows exactly how to use the tools, the product, how to put it together and do it in a way that will last and work and get the result that you want, okay? So really, really important. There is definitely a right and wrong way to do these. Just because you've tried something or maybe even hired somebody else to do some of these things in the past, they very well could have had the timing wrong. They could have applied the tool set wrong. There's lots and lots of reasons. They may not have known your industry, your market, like all of that stuff, right? Could have been a general service agency that doesn't have the level of data and experience they need, and they were kind of learning on your dime. Really, really important to understand there is definitely a right and wrong way to do these. You can get one person can get exceptional results with those tools. Another person can get terrible results with those tools. It's not the tool, it's how it was applied. Same thing, you've probably heard horror stories. You've gone into your client's house if you're an HVAC company and they hired somebody else to come in and fix their furnace, and you hear this terrible story about how they made it worse and now they had to call you and you're coming in there. It's not that HVAC companies don't know how to fix furnaces, it's that they just brought in the wrong team and somebody without the experience to know to do it right? So really, really important. And then the last point I want to make here when you're trying to figure out which to do and when is we have definitely found certain combinations of these tools at certain times that result in an exponentially better ROI. And this is what makes the difference between getting something working and, getting, spotty leads here and there, getting up and down months, to putting things at the right time, in the right order, and in the right way that will take you to consistent, predictable, very rapidly scaling results, okay? So really, really important. Just 3 points there. They all work, but timing matters. There's a right and wrong way to use each one of these tools, and just because it hasn't worked in the past doesn't mean the tool doesn't work. And there are definitely combinations that are used when used in the right way at the right time yield a multiple better ROI. Okay, so it's not just like a little bit better. When you put these things together in certain ways, it's like building blocks. You get not only like a 1x improvement, a 2x, you get like a 10x improvement. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you exactly. Okay, there's one. We call it the 10x multiplier. There's one, it's literally almost magical combination of doing 3 different things that we have found that we have implemented over the last many, many years with our clients. It's what allows us to get to basically make them a top 3 business, which means they're one of the 3 largest companies in their market. We've taken many guys from being like one-man shows over the course of a couple of years, which is a very short period of time, to becoming the number 1 and 2 and 3 player in their market, okay? There's a huge difference in your personal lifestyle and in your business when you are like just starting out and just like, making $100,000 a year, just basically making a paycheck, to when you are one of the leading businesses in your market. Everything changes, not only in your business, but in your personal life. And that is our goal, is to change like our clients' lives personally, not just within the business, okay? So if you stick around at the end of this video, I'm gonna show you, I'm literally gonna just share with you exactly what we have found is the magic combination of these things, okay? So stick around at the end of the video. All right, so for now, let's go ahead and jump into the first way that our home service clients typically are getting leads, and that is basically buying leads. Now, when we talk about buying leads, it means you're literally just paying somebody else for leads. Now, there's a few things really, really important here. Who is this good for? If you're just starting out, it's a really good way to get started quickly because sometimes getting your own business set up and getting some traction there can take a little bit of time. It can take a couple of months, and this is a good way to get some initial traction. So we typically find it businesses who are still in that kind of like job mode versus business mode, just trying to get those first few jobs under your belt. This is a good way to get that going quickly. All right. Now, also, larger businesses who have already maxed out the highest ROI traffic streams and customer streams, which we'll talk about what those are shortly. Once you're getting all of the highest quality customers you can get, and you just want to, you've got more marketing budget, you want to try to get some more of those potentially lower quality jobs, but it's a job all the same. Good way to have some fill-in stuff to keep your teams busy. They'll also kind of add back in the buying leads strategy. Okay. So basically, it's really good. So when we talk about why would you use buying leads, it's good for a quick fix. They're typically smaller jobs. And here's the biggest problem with buying leads is you're going to be competing for every single job, right? You're going to be competing on price because you're typically talking to very price sensitive customers. Now, there's a bunch of reasons for this, but the biggest reason is that these are shared leads, right? So that that lead is coming to you, but that lead company is also giving it to every one of your competitors. So now this prospect has a bunch of businesses calling them. If you've used shared shared lead services in the past. You know what the experience is like. Sometimes you call people, they don't know who you are. Many times they've already had the job done, or it's not even a job that you're like advertising for or looking to get. So, and you're always competing on price. They just want things done cheaply. We literally, with our system, we try to avoid these types of leads and customers. We're going for people who are actually looking to pay a fair price, get the job done the right way, right? So that's who it's for and why it's not the best solution. Okay, in many cases, like I said, good if you're just getting started out, you don't have any other options. It's a good quick fix, but definitely not a sustainable strategy, and definitely not a way to get in front of the best customers in your market. All right. The next one is your website. Now, who is this for and when? Your website is really important once you are an established business and you're already generating a decent amount of revenue and you have a strong local presence and you've already got kind of an established brand. Your website, counter to what many people will tell you, is absolutely positively not the first thing you should invest in, okay? Now, why the website? It's great for referral traffic. So when somebody goes and they search out your business name, they're specifically looking for you, having a website up there to represent your brand is important, okay? But here's the most important thing to realize. A website will not bring in new customers, okay? You could put a website up, you could put tons of money into it, time, energy, effort, and it's not going to bring you in any new business, okay? It's good for referral customers who go and find you online, but it's not a customer generating activity unless you do some work on it with SEO and stuff like that, which we'll talk about in a minute. But the website in itself is not a strategy for bringing in new customers. And it's literally, of all the things we do for our clients, their website, your business website, is literally your lowest converting online property. And we'll talk about what some of those online properties that do convert well are in a few minutes, okay? But so that's where we got with the website, who it's for and why, all right? SEO, so search engine optimization. This is when you go and you write content, you do backlinking, things like that to get your website ranked, okay? So once you have a website, you go out and you typically will do SEO. Now, who it's for and when? SEO is typically a good strategy for companies that are doing at least $1 million in annual revenue and who have larger marketing budgets. So you gotta be having a marketing budget of at least $10K a month before you start doing SEO, because you want to already be doing higher value activities, all right? Now, why is that, right? Your first thing is you're going up against companies with high six-figure monthly marketing budgets, okay? So that's the first thing. You have to realize, the companies that are showing up in those organic placements are the shared lead companies, and they are spending their marketing budgets. They have multiple six-figure marketing budgets for every single month, right? So they are spending a ton of time, energy, effort, and money to maintain those organic placements, because that's where they get their leads from that they're then selling to you. What chance do you think you have to compete against those companies, right? So it's a very expensive and long-term play, all right? That's really, really important. Now, SEO works great for a lot of different industries, but the reason it's very difficult and very expensive to get a true result for a home service business is simply because you're up against the shared lead companies, and they have multiple six-figure budgets that they're spending every month to maintain those positions. And so until you can compete with that type of marketing campaign, it is not going to be the best investment. It also takes a very long time to get stuff ranked. And most of the time when we look at companies that have been doing SEO for a long period of time, most of the traffic that they're getting is not buyer intent traffic, okay? Really, really important. You may get tons of visibility, impressions, even clicks, but they're usually more for the DIY terms, like people looking for information about that service. They're not high buyer intent search queries, so you might as well not even have them at all, okay? And then the other thing too is SEO, just keep in mind, SEO attracts lower quality, price sensitive leads, okay? That's the same place the shared lead companies are getting their leads. And here's the reason why. I'll explain it very quickly. When you think about page one search results, right? At the very top of the page, let me actually just pull one up real quick. Hold on. All right, here's a page one example for a search for a roofer in Houston, right? You've got your ads at the top, your GMBs, and then these are your organic places lower on the page. You can see we've got Angie's List, Yelp, House, all these shared lead companies, right? That's who you're in there competing against, and these guys, they're no joke. They're seriously spending to get those placements ranked, right? But here's the thing. The leads that have made it this far down the page, they've already gone by all of the ads, the legitimate businesses businesses in the ads, all of the legitimate business in the Google My Business page, and then they finally get down to the organic listings here, whether it be shared leads or even if you do manage to get your site in there. What do you think happens there, right? I mean, think about it. These are people, these searchers are people that have basically started at the top of the page because we're programmed as human beings to believe that the business at the very top of the page is the best, right? So they called one of the businesses in the ads maybe, then they called another, and then they went down to the Google My Business section. They called some of the businesses there, and they didn't like what they heard, right? They didn't like the pricing. They didn't like the reality of like what it actually costs to get that job done. So they keep searching, trying to find somebody cheaper. So by the time that person has gone through all of the legitimate businesses at the top of the page, gotten down into the organic listings, now you're dealing with a price-sensitive shopper who you can kind of guess is only looking for the best deal, right? They're not as concerned with quality or workmanship. They just want the job done for as cheaply as possible. And I can tell you those are not the kind of customers, at least the kind of customers that our clients want to work with, okay? So that kind of gives you some context as far as SEO, why you shouldn't invest in it, until you're very large, you have a large budget, you compete. And then, even once you do get listed in those organic placements, you just need to be aware that it is going to bring in lower quality customers. So if you're not at that point yet in your business, you should always focus on the highest return customers first. Where are you going to get the best customers that are not price shopping, that are not as price sensitive, and who are looking to have the work done now, okay? I'll share where those placements are shortly, but typically, again, just keep that in mind. This is, as far as SEO goes, there is a time and place, but it is not until you've, gotten there, right? All right, so next up we have social media ads. So who and when? This is typically good for companies who have maxed out all of the buyer intent traffic streams, which we'll talk about in a moment, and who are prepared for lower ROI results. So when you run social media ads, you're going to have a lower return on investment. There's just no way around it, right? So usually businesses that are in that $2 to $3 million a year mark, there are some other situations when we have found social media ads are effective for very specific types of businesses, but usually our recommendation is to max out the buyer intent areas first, right? And then add in social media as an add-on strategy. And here's the reason why. If you think about it, nobody's going to a social media channel to hire a roofing company or to get their doors replaced, right? So it's interruptive advertising. Why would you invest in an interruptive advertising model until you've maxed out and getting your business in front of where people are actually looking to hire, okay? That's really, really important. So our focus is always, you start with high buyer intent customers, you get as much visibility and customers as you can from those areas. And then you expand out your marketing campaign once you've kind of maximized each of those high buyer intent channels. Because every time you add on a new traffic stream, you're adding on a stream that you know is going to be a little bit less effective, but it will bring you in more customers, right? But you've already gotten all the high buyer intent customers in the places where you can get them first, right? So once you've maxed out those high ROI traffic streams, then you add in the social media stream. And for most of our guys, it's usually when they're doing that like $1.5 to $2 to $3 million a year, okay? Social media ads are great for remarketing, and they're good as an add-on stream once you're already maxed out on those other streams where the buyers are hiring, okay? So next up, GMB pages, really, really important. So GMB, that stands for Google My Business. Those in that listing we just showed, those are the ones in the middle of the page where you have your business listed with the reviews, your locations, all that, right? Every single home service business, from new to well-established, should put a lot of focus on this asset. It's in the middle of page one search results, all right? There's a lot that you notice there's only 3 spots there. Sometimes there's 4. We do have the ability to get businesses listed in a paid placement for immediate placement while you're working on getting your regular GMB page to show kind of more naturally. But our goal, and I'll share a little bit more about this in a minute, but our goal is actually to own multiple placements in that spot. And I'll tell you how we do that shortly. But this placement is really, really important. This is one of those high buyer intent placements that we talked about. Very, very difficult to get this working, right? Because there's only room for 3 businesses. So you need to be one of those top 3 in order to show up here. The other thing that a lot of businesses don't realize is that you need to basically tell Google exactly, and there's when I say tell them, there's a lot of work that goes into doing this. You basically need to give them signals to allow them to show your business for certain service categories in certain locations over others. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, but that's really, really important. The primary thing here is every business needs to focus on this listing and getting this ranking, okay? And then getting a paid placement, if possible, in this same block as well, all right? And why? Well, it helps to position you as a real business, not only to the customers who are searching, but more importantly to Google, right? And also their review platform can help you win customers from other placements as well. I'll talk a little bit more about that momentarily. But so anyway, these listings are super targeted to attract buyers. So spend time on this placement, all right? The next one that we've got here is Google Ads, right? This one is so critically important, right? This is where the highest buyer intent customers come from every single month. All right. If you're not showing up in the Google ads, it doesn't matter what you've tried before, what may or may not have worked. Listen, there are literally thousands of ways to run Google ads effectively. There are literally only 3 things that we do in Google ads for our home service clients that are crushing it, our top 3 businesses, right? There's only 3 things you need to do within Google ads, but you got to do them really, really well, right? It's very easy to get lost and do things wrong. Like if you're running LSA ads or click to call ads or things like that. You'd be surprised to know that those types of advertising assets do not work well for most of the home service clients we work with, right? There are just 3 placements that we have found get about 80 to 90% of the buyers in every market, okay? And if you want to learn what those are, we can share with that. But what I'm saying is Google Ads is a massive platform. There are literally dozens of different ad types. If you look at all of the ways that you can adjust those ads, the placements, the settings for each of those, the device settings, the day party settings, there's literally thousands of things you've got to get right in order to make this happen. Now, I could tell you exactly how to do that, and I'll do that momentarily. But regardless, no matter what, if you want to grow your business and you want to scale quickly, you have to get Google Ads right, okay? So basically companies that have their sales process dialed in, and this is why it's not necessarily the best fit for companies who are in that just startup mode, unless you have a decent marketing budget and you've got a little bit of time to get these things ramped up, right? Because you have to build trust with Google. If you're a new advertiser and you haven't been advertising before, you're going in with established companies. You got to prove to Google that they should show your campaigns, and there's a lot that goes into getting that right. It's exactly what we do, right? So you basically have to have your sales process dialed in, and you're basically looking to capture more of the best customers in your market. So most of the guys we're working with that really get this dialed in, you're at that 200 plus year mark. So you've got your sales process established. You've got some existing referrals, some existing jobs and customers, because there's more than just the ads. It's what you do with people after they click the ad that has a big impact on the success of Google Ads as well. You cannot drive them to your website like we talked about. So I'll talk more about that in a few minutes, but really, really important, you need to be in those ads. That's the top of page placements. Those top 3 listings, 60% or more of the best customers in your market are hiring companies from those placements every single month. If you're not showing up in there, you don't even have a chance to win those customers, okay? Really, really important. So why Google Ads, right? Well, the vast majority, like I mentioned, of the highest quality buyers come from these placements each and every month, right? This placement is literally focused on buyer attraction, not leads. And that's what we want to focus on as a business. You want to basically buy customers, not leads. Okay, really, really important there. All right. So all of that being said, so those are the big ones, right? I promised to tell you the magical combination, right? How we help our clients to get 10 times the results from half of their marketing spend. So I'm going to do that right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in. All right, and this is how we do it. So basically, we play what we call Google Monopoly, and there are 3 primary placements that we have found. As we talked about before, you already know that most people, if they are looking to hire a company, the first thing they do is they pull out their phone, they go to a computer, they do a Google search, and then they make a decision on who they're going to work with based on what they see, how reputable the company looks, what kind of reputation they have. But we all start with the immediate assumption that the business at the very top of the page is the best choice. And as you go down the page, the businesses get a little bit worse, a little bit worse, a little bit worse, right? We're trained as human beings to believe that the number 1 result Google gives us is the best. And then the choices get, the responses as you go down the page are less relevant and less good, I guess, for lack of a better word. So we definitely want to capture those top of page placements and as many above the fold placements as we can. Now, so what is the inbound service lead system? It's a data-driven multi-placement marketing system focused on customer acquisition, not leads. A lot of people they think we're a lead company because it's inbound service leads, but everything we do is designed around generating customer inquiries. So inbound phone calls exclusive to your business from people who have already searched a solution online, found you, research your company, and we'll show you how we do that for them, and decided that they want to work with you, and then they pick up the phone and they call you directly, okay? And we make sure to only get your business in those places where people are looking to hire and they're not price shopping, they're not tire kickers, they're legitimate high buyer intent people, okay? Really, really important. So this approach leads to exponentially more customers, higher overall conversion rates, and lower overall costs, all right? Really, really important. Now, so Google Monopoly, you got to own 3 spots. This top of page ad placement. This is a paid placement that we can get most businesses we work with in almost immediately, and then an organic or the GMB natural listing essentially, okay? These are the 3 placements we capture for our top 3 businesses, right? The businesses that are in one of the top 3 choices in their local market. This is how we do it, and nobody can do it like we do. We've been doing it since 2012, which is an eternity ago, and we have refined this system so that now new clients that come to work with us, we're basically leveraging over a decade's worth of data, and we've created what we call blueprints so that we can launch you on a proven platform. So let's talk about these 3 placements. The first one is the Google ads, okay? Getting in the ads. 60 to 70% of the best customers up for grab each month come from here. These are the best leads. They have the highest conversion rate to customers, and they're in the greatest volume, right? We don't deal with onesies, twosies, right? We're looking for predictable, consistent, high volume customer flow, right? And here's what we do. We use what we call the ISL ads matrix. And I know my video is probably covering some of this, but it's basically like the ultimate cheat code for attracting the best customers in your market month after month. All right. And we basically have over a decade's worth of data from businesses just like yours in markets very similar to yours that we use to launch your campaigns for near immediate success, right? We basically get to kind of cut the line. You as a business will get to cut the line to the top of page 1 placements. We use real-time monitoring and copying success from non-competing businesses across the US. It's one of the reasons we only work with a set number of businesses in each market for each service category we work with. We do not work with everybody. We can't work with everybody, right? So we're very limited on who we can work with, and we're very selective. You have to be a serious business who has a foundation and is looking for serious growth, not like onesie twosies jobs here and there, okay? We use AI-driven 24/7 updates. We perform AI-driven 24/7 updates to all aspects of the campaigns that we're running. So basically think about it as real-time adjustments based on our in-house developed algorithms. Nobody else can do this, and it goes far beyond what you can do within the built-in ads platform. We have a bunch of tools that we use for ad protection, competitor clicks, things like that, and for setting, managing, and tweaking the campaigns real time. A lot of this stuff is outside of the built-in interface. It's like you being a specialist in your market. You have tools that you use that no other business, no other person has. You have techniques and strategies that you use. Same thing here, but from a marketing perspective, all right? So that's how we're able to get in the ad so quickly. And then we use what we call the magnetic map system, right? These, the maps, the Google Maps, these number 2 and 3 placements here that we're going to work on acquiring for you, 20 to 30% of the best customers up for grabs every month come from these placements, all right? And we have basically the fastest way into the maps. Our magnetic maps process helps you to attract more of the best customers for the services that matter most to your business. Really, really important. Everything we do is based on customer acquisition. So we only focus on getting you showing prominently for the services that matter the most. Like just getting listed for general terms, like, HVAC company in your location, whatever, is not the most effective. You want to be showing up for the terms that matter most. So if somebody searches for, someone to replace a boiler for my, home in XYZ, we're going to make sure that your business shows up for those highly relevant. It's somebody who is looking to hire right now, right? We do paid placements whenever possible for this immediate top of pack visibility here, this number 2 listing. And we use what we call hit category build out. So it's high intent traffic. We're building out for these particular services to make sure that you're showing up for the highest value jobs first, okay? What we work on, remember, we always focus on highest return activities first. So our hit category build-outs make a huge difference. And then, of course, we use the GMB blueprints that we've developed for your specific service category to attract more of the best customers in your market. There's tons of stuff we do between citations, keyword, image hacks. There's a lot that goes into this, right? And I won't bore you with all that here, but we really focus on getting you into these 2- and 3-page placements so that you can, in fact, run Google Monopoly. Now, really important, we do all of this to get you visible, to get you in front of where the best customers are and get them to click on your business and choose you. What you do after you get that click is critically important to the success of any marketing campaign. And what we have found and what we have developed over the last decade is a series of direct response marketing funnels that outperform anything you've ever seen before because we've been refining them, testing them, tweaking them. A direct response marketing funnel is nothing more than a mini website that speaks very specifically to the exact thing that that prospect is looking for. So if they're looking for somebody to do a new residential driveway for them, when we get your ad placed in those spots and we get them to click it, we want to make sure that we bring them to a page that highlights exactly why you're the best choice for them to do their asphalt driveway, shows examples of your quality work, what makes you different, right? Differentiators, what makes you better and why they should choose you. And then we position your business in such a way where it's a no-brainer for them. They're like, yeah, this is who I want to work with. And then we make it super easy for them to call you, right? So they basically just click a button, or if they're at work and they can't talk and they want to fill out a form, we give them that option as well. But you want to make it very, very easy for them to take that action. And you need to make sure that it is incredibly mobile friendly and very easy to navigate and take action on a mobile device. Over 60% of your customers from the internet in these placements will be on a mobile device when they're searching you out. If it is not super easy for them to contact you on a mobile device and for you to show up as the choice for them, they will go somewhere else, right? So we have developed an incredibly simplified way for them to choose you and work with you and then ultimately call you on mobile devices as well. So the direct response marketing funnels is a huge part of our program. And then the last thing that's really, really important, doing all of this stuff is amazing and great, but if you can't track return on investment with any marketing system, then you absolutely should stop doing it right away, hands down, right? Everything we do is tracked to the letter. You will know exactly which customers came from where, and you'll be able to record all of the phone calls that come in, so you'll be able to listen back to the quality of the leads that are coming in and turning into new business and customers for you from these systems. So you really need that real-time, simple reporting, all right? So again, in this video, I've covered basically all of the different ways that home service businesses can drive traffic, right? So buying leads, website, SEO, social media ads, GMB pages, and Google ads. What differentiates one from the other, when you should do them and why, who they're for, right, and when. And then we've covered the primary service categories we work with. So roofing, tree service, paving, hardscaping, windows, doors, and siding, HVAC, and concrete. These are the kind of businesses that we're able to get those super fast, really incredible results for. So if you're in that business category, you're doing a minimum of $250 a year, and you're looking to grow seriously and significantly, and you're looking to get into a position, right, by implementing the magical combination and running Google Monopoly, then we should talk, okay? If you're looking for help getting this implemented in your business and you're serious about looking to become a top 3 business in your local market, then I encourage you, somewhere in, on, or around this video, there will be a button or a link that you can click to book a call with a member of our team. We do an absolutely very no pressure, because listen, we can only work with usually it's about 3 businesses in each service category in each area, because our goal is to make you one of the top 3 businesses in your market. So we're very limited on who we can choose to work with. So we need to make sure our goals are in alignment. If you are serious about becoming one of the top businesses in your market for one of the service categories we service, then go ahead, book a call. We'll do a free, it's usually 30 to 45 minutes demo call or Zoom meeting, whether you prefer video conference or phone call. We can do it either way. And we are no pressure. We'll look at your business. We'll have a conversation about where you are, where you're looking to go. We'll look at the gap that currently exists, and then we'll develop a plan specific for your business using some form of Google Monopoly to get you there in the period of time that you want to get there. And then we'll talk through it. And if it makes sense, if we both agree that it makes sense to work together, we'll tell you what that'll look like as well. And if for some reason we don't feel like it's going to be a good fit, or you don't feel like it's going to be a good fit, that's completely fine. We're a no pressure company. Like, our goal is to help businesses who want to be helped and want to grow seriously. So I encourage you, if you're looking to become a top 3 business in your local market, go ahead and book a call by clicking the button or link in on or around this video. Until then, this is Mike with Inbound Service Leads. We'll see you next time.